If everyone started using Bitcoin tomorrow, the system may not even function. It's kind of like what would happen if everybody wanted to download and stream a movie in 1998. It's just not going to work. I believe Bitcoin will be around for another 100 years until someone invents something completely innovative that's so far beyond Bitcoin. All of these ICOs, then STOs, then IEOs, it's all the same stuff. It's a way to just get around financial regulation to finance your company with something that's quasi-stock, quasi-currency. My name is Vays. I come from the traditional finance background. My first job was at Bear Stearns a few years before the collapse of the bank. Bounced around several companies after that, including JP Morgan, and then a few more. Discovered Bitcoin around 2013. I heard about it earlier, got into Bitcoin 2013. By 2014, I already started speaking at conferences. By 2015, I quit my job and mostly focused on trading. But now I run a pretty popular YouTube channel under my name, Vays, organize conferences, and speak all around the world, educating on Bitcoin and blockchain. Crypto mass adoption is too general of a concept. When did people mass adopt email or the internet? There was never this thing. People just started using it. When did people mass adopt cell phones? It's really hard to say when people find the need to have it. Over the last couple of years, we haven't had big financial shocks. I remember the Cyprus events, I remember the Greece events, and I think other similar economic shocks like that could open up the need for Bitcoin for more people, and that's when I think real mass adoption will take off. I don't think there's any serious barriers for Bitcoin mass adoption, other than the technology is actually not ready yet for mass adoption. If everyone started using Bitcoin tomorrow, the system may not even function. It's kind of like what would happen if everybody wanted to download and stream a movie in 1998. It's just not going to work. The internet bandwidths were not capable of doing that. We have the same thing here. Bitcoin scaling solution, the off-chain solution, Lightning, the second layer solution, is almost ready, may need another year or two in order to handle 1 million transactions a second, because right now on chain you're dealing with about 4 transactions a second and the fees could get very expensive. But in a few years we will actually be ready for mass adoption of Bitcoin all the time. The next big move in the crypto space, I believe, will be the realization that Bitcoin is the only innovation we have. All of these ICOs, then STOs, then IEOs, it's all the same stuff. It's a way to just get around financial regulation to finance your company with something that's quasi-stock, quasi-currency. None of them make any sense. None of them are decentralized. It's just a company trying to get funding. I don't think anything there is revolutionary from a technological perspective at all. It's debatable if any of the ideas are actually going to amount to something, like any of the ideas during the dot-com days. Some of them amounted to something, some of them didn't. But this concept that the fact that they're going to do an STO is somehow innovative is not. It's ridiculous. It's just another word for how do you get money in the door. I do think it will be Bitcoin. People will realize how important politically neutral money really is. I would call Bitcoin the technology itself. Bitcoin is filmography. Bitcoin is the internet. Bitcoin is not the Model T car. Bitcoin is the car engine. And the car engine has not really changed. The concept of a car has been the same for 100 years. We've advanced a little bit. Now we have airplanes and other means of transportation. But until someone invents, say, a teleporter, we're going to be dealing with cars and planes and that mode of transportation. That's what Bitcoin is. I believe Bitcoin will be around for another 100 years until someone invents something completely innovative that's so far beyond Bitcoin. So it's not a type of car, it's the car. There's a lot of conferences right now that are still focusing on this decentralized economy, the concept of a blockchain. But to me, a blockchain is something very specific. To me, a blockchain was the invention of Satoshi Nakamoto by solving the double spending computer problem with proof of work. If your blockchain doesn't have proof of work, to me, it's not a blockchain. So a lot of the projects that are being promoted as a blockchain, to me, they're just ideas on a database. I don't see them as very innovative. And while a lot of good projects could potentially come out of the space and people can find these projects at conferences like this, I don't see them as being the next level of technological innovation the way Bitcoin is. Which is why I come to these conferences, to try and educate people on where the real innovation is in the crypto world, and that takes you right back to Bitcoin. It's really good for people to attend events, to see the atmosphere, to see how people are excited about the next latest thing. I wasn't around for the internet boom. I was still in my university, but I can only imagine what it was like. But just like the internet boom, you have to be careful because I never understood when I got a little older, how could people trade these .coms on the NASDAQ worth $100 a share, and at the end of the day, all it was a fancy website. While some good companies came out of it, that bubble reminded me so much of what happened in 2017 with the ICO bubble. So it's great to see what people are working on and some of the ideas, but every company still has the same probability of success as it always did, less than 1. So you have to be aware before you start putting your money in, but it's great to see the excitement and what people think they can achieve in the future.